Alright, now that you've solved the blue face, the next step is to flip the cube over so that whatever face that you solved is down, and then the opposite side is facing up. In this case it will be green because that is directly opposite of the blue side. Now, one thing that you need to learn now that you've solved one side of this is each face's name. This is going to be the front face because it is facing towards you, the right face because it's to the right of you, left face because it's to the left, up because it's facing up, down because it's down, back because it's on the opposite side of the cube as you. Now if I were to turn it like this would now become the front face, left, right, still up, still down, and still the back. Now if I were to turn it this way, same thing goes. Front, up, left, right, back, and down. So now what we need to do is learn what I mean when I say the different directions. If I were to say right inverted, that means you would turn this side towards you because this is the right face, and if I say inverted, you have to imagine that it's turning counterclockwise. If I were to say right, that means I have to turn the right face away from me because it would be going clockwise. If I were to say left, that means I would have to turn it towards me because you have to look at the left face and imagine that it's turning clockwise. So that would be turning towards me. Left inverted would be away from me because that would be counterclockwise. If I were to say up, that means turn the top face this way because that is turning clockwise. If I were to say up inverted, that means I would turn it that way because that's counterclockwise. Some people get confused on the down face though because they can't imagine that from where they're sitting. They imagine it as if it were the top face, and they would turn down inverted this way because they imagine it as this face. But honestly, the down inverted would be this way because that would be the bottom face turning counterclockwise. If I were to say down, it would be this way because the bottom face is turning clockwise. Now, what we need to do is solve these bottom two layers all the way around the cube so that these two layers are orange, these two layers are yellow, these two layers are red, and these two layers are white. Now in order to do this, I will be teaching you a couple of algorithms in order to get these pieces to move where they need to go to solve these two layers. Now what you need to do is, now that we have the green side facing up and the solved side is still down, you have to find one of these center pieces right here that does not have green in them. Like this one, it has orange and white. This one wouldn't work because it has green and yellow. This one would work because it's white and red, and this one would not work because it's green and orange. So now that we have one that would work, we need to turn the orange and white in the correct position. So since this side facing you is orange, we need to turn it to the orange side, and you determine the sides by which piece the center color is. So now that we have this in the right spot, orange is on the orange side, white is still facing up, we need to move it to the correct spot, which in this case it would be left, because the orange and white need to move left to make the orange and white here. All it's doing is moving from here straight down to this side right here, and then that would solve from here all the way across to here, and then all that would be left is this piece, and this piece on the other side to solve these bottom two layers. Now in order to do this algorithm, to get this piece to move to the left, you're going to do up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. And now that you have done this, you can see that the piece moved from here directly down to being on the orange side and on the white side. So now what we need to do is look for another piece up here that does not have green in it, like this one. It has the yellow and red. So what we need to do is turn this piece to the yellow side, since this yellow is the side that's facing you. So we would turn it once to this side because this is the yellow face, and now the yellow is lined up on the yellow side. Now this piece right here instead of moving left like the last one, that would be going to the wrong side because this is orange and you need the red side. So this piece needs to move directly right one so that it would be the yellow and red in the correct spots. Now in order to do this algorithm, it is exactly the opposite of the last algorithm I told you. It is up, right, up inverted, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, up, front. Now that you have that there, this piece moved from right here down to here. Now you have this piece in the correct spot and it solved these 4 squares so that these 2 layers are almost solved. Now all that's left is to put this in the right position and this in the right position. Now I'll let you go on your own to solve the rest of the layers or the rest of the pieces in the right spot using these 2 algorithms. Just move it until you have a piece that is in the correct spot like this, and then you just move it to in the right direction with the algorithms I gave you. So there you have it. Now I have this piece in the right spot, and now these 2 layers are solved and these 2 layers are solved, but this isn't quite solved yet because you still have the piece up here, which is actually right here. Now I have it on the correct side because the yellow is on the yellow face, the orange needs to go to the left. Now I have the bottom 2 layers completely solved. Alright, now what happens every once in a while, instead of having the bottom 2 layers solved, you have that one piece that needs to be in the right spot, but you can't find it up here. All these pieces have green in it. That's because every once in a while the piece comes down to the spot where it's already supposed to be, but it's just not flipped the right direction. Now, if you want to do it from the left side, with it on the left face, you would just do the algorithm that I told you to get the piece to go from here to the left side. If you'd rather do it from the right side, with it in the right face, you just turn the cube so that it would be on the right face, and then you do the algorithm I told you to get the piece to move from here to the right. But I prefer to hold it in my left hand. So to get it to go there, I would do the up inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. Now what that did is it moved the piece back into the top layer so that all I have to do is turn it to the correct side and then do that algorithm one more time to get it to move to the left where I needed it. And there you go. Now that is in the correct spot, flipped the correct direction, and you have the bottom 2 layers solved again.